All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna hula hoop. And if you want to hula hoop while you're sitting down, so I see you sitting, you're fine. You can just stay on the floor. Joan, stay on the floor. Okay. So because we just came out of weightlifting, we want to work through this middle carriage region first, and then other direction. Everybody can hear me okay? Cool. I want to say thank you to Bill and thank you to Ori, because the government sent him home today and said, go find something to do. So he's doing something. All right, now take your right hip and poke it out. Take that right arm and reach it overhead just so that you get a stretch. We don't want to overdo too early. No way. Is that Kathy and Grant? I see your armpits. Awesome. Bring that arm down, other hip goes out, reach up and over. Get on your best Debbie Reynolds right now. Put on a sweatband. Put on Eye of the Tiger. Bring both arms straight up. Turn your toes out, little space in between the heels. And then just lift the right heel. Reach from the tips of those toes all the way up. If you guys need twinkly yoga music in the background, you're welcome to do that. Hopefully one day maybe Jamie will know, we can run background music on this thing. That heel comes down, the other heel lifts. We reach up away from the left toes. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. The heels come down, arms, release. Big breath in, reach it up. Exhale, take it down. One more time, breathe it up. Take it down. Now this time, if both heels will rise when you come up, take them all the way up. Both heels reach up. It's a balanced posture with the toes pointed out. It's obviously a balanced posture no matter what, but with the toes pointed out, you got to squeeze through the base of the glutes to hold that pelvic core in. Breathing in, breathing out, heels lower, hands come down to hips, step a little wider, and then just shift. Oh, welcome everybody. We're making the transition from weightlifting into yoga. So like I said earlier, what we're gonna do is we'll just post this for 2 hours at a time when we do these. That way you guys can come and go and we don't have to switch from one meeting to the next meeting. Now, next time you shift left and those right toes wanna sneak up, give yourself a little bit of what I call a cosmic gesture. Lean in, open up that side body. Breathe it in. Breathe it out, bring them back into the heart, shift. Other heel comes up and then rotate. Beautiful. Shoulder blades come back and together. The chin draws in toward the throat. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart. Come through center. Have a little John Wayne squat. The hands are going to come into the heart. And we're going to use a little bit of work through the quads to fire up the heart rate, but yet hold steady in the heart space. So heart rate, physiology, heart space. Ooh, can we call that cosmology? Universology. So notice as the legs start to use up oxygen within the bloodstream, the heart rate starts to drive up. That's the simple physiology. But can I hold in my heart space while the body goes into chaos? Breathing rate accelerates. We drop down a little more. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. And then just hold steady.
Oh, hi, kitty.
Breathing it in. Breathing it out, and then press up nice and slow. Turn the toes forward. Hands release forward, fold. Gather up some of that earth space And if you need to bend and shift in whatever way you want to bend and shift, move through the backs of those legs. But at the same time, take your heart space with you. So this is what I was struggling with last week, teaching to a box. I can now look out and I see all these people, even if I'm just looking at a name. Oh, a Kevin M. Nuh-uh. I love it. I got a high five off of a David. David, you're in there. Now I see you. But shift through those legs. And now I know which hearts are out there. And I know a little bit about how a lot of you function. I know what drives you. I know what's important to you. I know what your loves are. I know what your dislikes are. And it looks a lot like Utkatasana. Come through center, bend those legs, lift those collarbones. Here we go. Because this is a form of love. Hands reach forward. Reach for all the other hearts on that little computer screen right there. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, David. You're under David. You're Lori. You disappeared. So I was like, okay, breathe it in. Breathe it out one more time. High five the floor. The cheeks go low. The cheeks go high. Breathing it in. Sighing it out. Excellent. Bend those knees. Hands come to quads. Roll up through the center spine until you have an angry cat back. And then let the belly drop. Cat and cow. So shifting up and then dropping down. Shifting up and dropping down. Shifting up. Drop that belly one more time and then roll all the way up. Let the arms travel up as you go. Breathing in at the top and then the hands flutter down to heart space. And just do a little bit of a check-in. I love how if you watch Barbara's, she kind of disappears into the universe and then she sneaks back out and then she disappears back in. So what's hanging out in there? We all know what's hanging out in there. And our heart space is still steady. Each and every one of you guys knows how to bring it in when the times get tough. So feel that space on the inside. Breathe one more time around it. Hands slide down, arms reach out and up. Right hand grabs left wrist. Big stretch this time, pulling the body over as far as it is willing. Inhale. Exhale, lifting to center, turn those right toes out, and in we go again. Breathing in, breathing out. Lift up, bend that front knee, bend in one more time. Breathing in, breathing out. Now this time, switch hands, lean all the way back. So now we're stretching front side, open up that chest for a little more heart space. And then straighten that front leg, release the hands, come into a triangle position. It's a little mini leg triangle position, but we're finding all the firmness within the side body so that we strengthen those bones. Breathing it in, breathing it out, and then level off. Turn those right toes forward, hands sneak up, left hand grabs right wrist, over we go, as far as the body is willing. Find the breath. Lifting up, turn those toes out, bend in again. Inhale. Exhale, lift up, bend that front knee, bend in one more time. Take some of the weight into the quadricep muscle. And then lift, switch wrists, lean away. Give it a nice pull. Open that armpit, Grant. That's what I'm talking about. Kathy, might be time for more deodorant for Grant. Lift up, separate, little tiny triangle posture. Breathing in, breathing out. Lifting up, both arms up, toes forward, melt down, center toward the center of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. And then bend at the knees. If you need to sit on something, sit on something. So, you might not have anything to sit on. So some of you are comfortable sitting flat on the floor. Sit right down there. Flat skis on the floor. There we go. And then start to shift. And just notice, so we went from weightlifting. Weightlifting class is a bit like regular life. There's a pace, somebody's counting. We expect things. We want results. I want my bat wings to go away. They never do. So then I'm disappointed. There's judgment. That's weightlifting class. And then there's yoga. So we're sitting in and check in. Joan, I love your kitty cat. I'm going to bring my kitty cat in. Maybe they'll poke the screen. And then turn this into circles. And just notice. Anytime any sort of judgment pops in today, we've got time. Dear Lord, we got nothing but time right now. Go in and check in with what that judgment is, because it might not be judgment of physical movement. It might be judgment of how I'm feeling in this particular space and place and time. So check in with it. One more time around. And then pause wherever you are and go in the other direction. Excellent. Just letting the body shift and move, find all the juicy parts and find all the tight bits. There we go. One more time around. And then we're going to sit right up in center. And then we're going to take our right leg and send it out toward the side of the mat. So I've got my pelvis squared with the screen, which is odd because you're all right in front of me, basically. So your pelvis and your shoulders are squared with the screen. Hands come down to the insides and the outside of the knee. Pull the heart space forward. Give the attention to that sartorius muscle. That's what that is. That pulls up from the groin space up to the outside of the knee. Breathe in. Breathe out, then slide in. We want the shoulder to come in toward that big toe and the left shoulder to stay back. We reach as far as we can. Now, anybody that wants to go grab an old necktie or something and lasso that foot, you're more than welcome. If you can reach the toe, you grab the toe. And then take that left hand behind you at first. So we slide it back, we tuck our chin into our left collarbone, a bit like a little birdie that's going to sleep under its wing. Breathing in and breathing out. And then either holding with the left arm here or reaching up and across the body so that we can open up. What are our possibilities? What do we have to offer? We were having a conversation yesterday. We went out for a walk with another friend, and we were like, wow, this is actually great for a lot of us. We're spending more time with loved ones. We're spending time at home. We're getting a little more exercise. We're learning to eat better because a lot of us are realizing that finishing that next bag of chips is not making us feel so good. And then sweep up and across and lean back. But so for as great as this is, there's also the realization that there are people that are in dire circumstances. And it's like, oh, how do you deal with that juxtaposition of feelings? And I was like, well, so Ori and I were talking about it, and she reminded me of something that we had both listened to, and it reminded me of something, another podcast I'd listened to, and it was about doing what you can in your own heart space because we can't fix everything. Breathe in, breathe out, sweep it down and forward. Both hands reach for the floor. Pull the collarbones forward. Make sure those sits bones are glued to the floor. And if your forearms can walk down onto the deck as well, then the forearms walk down as well. So it's about doing as much as we can to help those around us, whether it's phone calls to help people allay their fears and their worries and their anxieties, or it's cooking a meal, it's, and sending it to a neighbor. Those things, we're going to do those things. So we're proactive with what we can do. We're compassionate for those that are in the situation that they're in. And then we just have to work on ourselves, because bettering ourselves is betterment for the world. Breathing in, breathing out. Roll that body up. Oh, nice. Pick that up, slide that in, wrap that left arm or hand around it, and then give yourself a little bit of a spinal twist, just to give that hamstring a little bit of a break. Breathing in and out. Noticing that it's that inside space that a lot of us have neglected for a long time. We're inside to go inside. Unwind, put the soles of the feet together, little butterfly wings. Oh, you guys look so great. I just want to reach out and just poke you all. I know, right? This is what Mama needed. I don't know about you guys, but 3 weeks in, I was like, I got this. And then I was like, no. I need your hearts, all of your hearts. Breathe it in nice and tall, and then lean it in forward. If you need to sit up on a cushion for this, sit up on a cushion for this. But make sure that that heart space is aiming toward the tips of the toes. We're taking the body and driving it forward. We're inhaling and we're exhaling. And then take the body, roll it on up. Left leg time. I'm going to scooch and send that out. So shoulders and hips square toward the screen. Kevin's hoping that everybody squares off with him. Kevin. All right, foot flexed. We grab onto those knees. We pull that heart space forward. My pelvis is really out of alignment. I'm only sitting on one sits bone. Bring it forward. And then slowly start to slide. Try not to let the torso twist too much. That right shoulder slides back. We grab onto what we can grab onto down there, and then that right arm slides across your back. Everybody can still hear me? I just hit the battery pack on my back. Okay, thank you, Lord. Inhaling. Exhaling. Couple more breaths. Let that stuck tissue start to unwind, because the nervous system has been firing us off in odd ways. So the muscles, some of us might really be in fight or flight or flee mode, or freeze, fight, flight, or freeze. That's what it is. And so really check into these spaces. Breathing in, breathing out. That hand reaches up and over. Oh, Joan, your kitty cat, making it all look so easy. She's like, oh, here, let me lick my leg. Cats. Inhaling. Oh yeah, open that tissue up. Use the press of the fingers. Use the opening of the body to get into that soul space. One more big breath. And then reach up and back. My body does not want to come out of that posture. My body's like, oh, can I stay there? Reach, open that belly space. If you wanted to press that hand down and lift the hips, you could. It's up to you. Breathe in, breathe out, sweep through center, reach beyond the edge of your mat, pull your collarbones forward. And then from this point on, use the breath to soothe the nervous system. Every wave of air that comes in, allow it to slide almost like it's sliding up a beach. And then when it slides away, how the sand is all nice and smooth. I mean, that to me, that always seemed fascinating. It would come up and it would just like dribble shells all over the surface of the sand. And then when it moved away, the shells were still left, but the sand was perfectly smooth. So sometimes the chaos brings us gifts like seashells, and then it'll pull away, roll up. But when it pulls away, it smooths everything out. Pull that knee up and in, wrap that shin, reach up, turn back. I got to live at the beach for a couple of years when I was a kid. And I used to just love to get up in the morning and just run across the yard and up the street and over the sand dunes when we had sand dunes. Breathing in, breathing out. Unwind. Soles of the feet come together. Now this time, instead of pulling the heels real close, send them away a little more so that you've got really good contact with the base of the pelvis. Grab on just below the knees, reach the heart space forward, and then wrap the toes and drop the forehead toward the heels. Round the back out as much as you want to. Beautiful. You guys look great back there. One more big breath in. And out. And then roll the body up. We're going to take that right leg. We're going to stand it. And we're going to take the right arm underneath until we can grab the top of the ankle or the top of the foot. I'm going to grab hold of my left ankle or my foot somehow. And now I'm going to turn my face toward my right ankle and just kind of bow my left ear in toward my left heel. And remember to breathe. I just realized I was holding my breath. Breathing it in. Breathing it out, really deep in the hip here. Roll up, take that left hand, slide it back. All right, come on. Here's your moment. That right leg goes up, grab hold of that bad boy somehow. Oh, yeah. So if you want to turn this into the balance, then that left leg kicks out. And then, I don't have it today. That back arm comes up and in. Breathing in. But you don't have to do the balance. Breathing out, that leg bends, we bend in, soles of the feet come together, slide them away a little further, and either lace the arms under and grab the ankles and bring the forehead toward the heels, or reach way beyond and wrap the upper arms down around the shins. Really loosening up through hips and back, because so to get into the heart space, when we're in times of discomfort, that root chakra and that that sacral chakra, they get kind of bound up because our sense of safety down here in our pelvis gets a little squirrely. And then our feelings are like little tornadoes. And so they kind of bind together down there, just creating chaos. So if I loosen the back and I loosen the hips and I get the belly into a space where it's comfortable, then I can start breathing through heart space and leading each day through heart space. Roll that body up, dislodge those arms, take that left leg out, slide that left hand under, grab the ankle or the top of the foot, grab hold of the right foot, and then turn the heart space toward the left heel and the right ear down toward the right heel. Really deep in hip, working on making those energies a little more balanced down there in the belly. And then as you go through, like beach waves, breathe in through the heart space, bring the chaos in. And when you exhale out, have it be that smoothing breath in the sand. One more breath. And then rolling up and out, right hand goes behind. Reach for the outside of that left leg. If you want to straighten the right, go forth. Excellent. Gorgeous. Look at you guys. I love it. See, now since we're all muted, it can be Taco Tuesday, and it's okay. Breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, bring it all down. Crisscross applesauce-ish, and then back into the torso. Here we go. We're taking that heart for a little bit of a ride. We've got the balance working out in the pelvis and the sacrum. So they describe the root chakra like a bowl, because your pelvis, if you kind of look at it in an x-ray, it kind of could a vase or a bowl. So it could hold water. And they say your emotions are, because they're all watery and liquidy, in 1 minute they're, the next minute they're all, you know how that is. The pelvis holds the emotions. It's the bowl holding the waters of the emotions. Pause, go the other direction. So we want to make sure that the bowl is a solid container and that it's level and that it's settled into place so that the waters of the emotions aren't spilling over the edge. So that when that breath from the ocean, that wave comes in, it doesn't disturb anything in those lower two chakras. And it just washes that heart space right through. Inhale yourself up center. Scooch back on your mat a little bit, wide leg, wide leg. Oh my word, I haven't done this in 3.5 weeks. Bless you guys that have been doing yoga. All right. So sit up out of the pelvis. If you need to sit up on something, Bill, you need your little, you got it? Okay. Oh, he's got his little thing back there. So sitting up on something is going to help drive the tailbone backwards a little bit and help you tip forward in the hips. Hands are going to plant forward. We're going to tip forward slightly at an angle first until we get the attention of the hamstrings. You'll know when you get there. Bonk. And then there's a holding spot. I'm going to plant my left hand in front of my heart space, and I'm going to drive right forward at the same angle that my spine is with my right fingertips. Breathing in and breathing out. Now brighten up the attention in the heels. The toes want to turn up toward the ceiling, and the heels have that press out. Breathing in. Breathing out, right hand slides toward the right leg or the toes. Dive the forehead in toward the right knee. One more big breath. And then roll back up to seated and we'll reset. So nice and tall up out of the pelvis, feet flexed, toes at the ceiling, and then shift forward out of that pelvis at an angle until the hamstrings come into play. Then take that right hand, reach it out, nice straight arm, but not locked elbow. And then right up out of that shoulder space comes that left arm. So if somebody looked at you from the side, you'd want everything to be one long line right from the tip of that middle finger down to the tip of the tailbone. Breathing in, breathing out. Very nice. Looking good out there. Inhale. Exhale, that hand comes out to that left leg or left foot. We take the chin in toward the left knee. And find those beach waves. Breathe them in and smooth them out. Breathe them in and smooth them out. Breathe them in and smooth them out. Roll that body up. Take the hands slightly behind. If you've got arthritis, be very gentle. If you've got a pillow behind you, awesome. But we're going to plant the hands. Roll the collarbones up toward the ceiling. And then just either hold here in a wide leg fish or heels come down, hips rise. Heart space lifts as if it was suddenly filled with helium. Breathing in. Breathing out, hips come down. Now tick-tock forward. Reach through the crown of the head, slide the hands out as far as they will go. If forearms will come down, beautiful. If they don't, and you've got a pillow or a cat or something you could put your forearms on. There you go. There you go. Perfect. So Joan's got a block. Not everybody's got all this equipment. But you could come down into here. You could flatten the forearms and turn the head to one side, whatever is going to make you most comfortable. But give yourself about 5 more breaths. And if you can stretch and strengthen and lay a little more flat and reach through the heels. Holy smokes, I didn't think I'd get this far down here today. Breathing in and letting it all go. One more big breath together, inhaling. Side out. And then slowly roll back up. I think it's Shavasana time. Legs pull up and in. Roll down onto your back. Battery pack. I stabbed. Modern life. So we're on our backs. We're shifting from side to side. I think this is the posture that most of us excel at the most. Just a little shift. If you've been having particular low back pain, or maybe even you might want to call it sciatic pain, you might want to get out a golf ball or a lacrosse ball or something along those lines. Because when we get stressed, one of the things that we like to do, and I'll show you while everybody continues to roll a little bit, is we stand in position of protection. So we either stand like a superhero, and we're like, If we have a sassy hip, we stand like this, which then impinges the opposite side, because now I'm going to protect my family. You can't get me, ha, ha, ha. Or we do this. We pull that tailbone up and under in this protective, you can't push me over kind of stance. And it starts to pinch everything back here in the low back. And what it does is it straightens out the lordosis in this low spine, which then starts to impinge these nerves that are coming out, and it can mimic sciatic pain. So one of the things is unlock your knees. If I had to guess, most of us have been standing around with locked knees, thinking like soldiers, like you can't hurt me these days. And so then we've been pinching that low back. All right, so take hold of that right shin, extend your left heel up toward the ceiling, go just They got that going on. Beautiful. So we've got the left leg up toward the ceiling, and then we're going to drop it out at a 45-degree angle. But yeah, so if you've been feeling like you've been having kind of odd low back pain, it may be from protecting. So unlock the knees, drop the shoulders, take a couple of deep breaths, and just see if that kind of helps on a daily basis. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Drop that leg about another 10 inches. Oh yeah, let the abdominal wall catch on to that heavy leg weight. Well, I have heavy leg weight. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now roll head and shoulders up until you could kiss that kneecap. Shoulder blades roll back and together so that we're not trying to lift with the trapezius muscle. Breathing in. Breathing out, right ankle, left thigh, pull everything in, figure 4, so the hands would sweep behind that left thigh and roll it in. Oh, see, isn't that just bliss right there? I hope you guys have been just like doing a stop, drop, and roll somewhere in your day and just be like, hold on, I need a figure 4, middle of the backyard or middle of the living room. For Bill, middle of the range. Because I'm sure he does that. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then one more time, lift head and shoulders. Try to bring the nose toward the right shin or ankle. And are we ready to balance? It's going to be fun. Breathe in. Breathe out. Head drops back a little shift with the leg. And we slide up. And we, yes. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Everybody popped up in their screens. I love it. It's like everybody was gone. Now everybody's back. Beautiful. Breathing in. Breathing out, roll back down, pull all of that back into the chest one more time. Inhale. Exhale, left foot hits the floor, hands on either side of the hips. The right ankle can stay where it is, or the right foot can go on the floor. Shoulder blades, ow, 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 I'm sunburned from yesterday. Shoulder blades in the floor, lift the hips, single leg or double leg bridge. Chin rolls into the collarbones. We're trying to make that yummy yoga double chin down there. Breathing in, and the head should be pretty free. You should be able to roll it from side to side without much effort. Inhaling. Exhale, roll the hips down, right foot plants. Second verse, same as the first. Here we go. Pull that shin in. We got the left leg pulled in, the right leg reaches up toward the ceiling, shoulder blades nice and firm on the mat. Both feet flexed, big breath into the thigh. And then reach away at roughly a 45-degree angle. Let the body get used to that for just a moment and decide whether that's where you want to be or whether you want the legs straight up over the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Drop the leg away again at another 10 inches down, and then pick up the head and the shoulders, roll the nose into the knee. Oh, we have the communal shake going on. I know it can't just be me. Breathing in. Breathing out, head and shoulders roll down, the left ankle onto that right thigh. Grab up the back of that right thigh, figure 4, pull it all in toward the chest. Oh, it feels so good. And then head and shoulders roll up. Try to roll the nose up toward the left ankle. Oh, that intensified it. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then get ready for the shift and the kick. The head and shoulders roll down. Kick, roll up to balance. See, that was fun. Nice. Wow. Wow. Breathing in. Breathing out. Roll back down. Pull all this back into the chest. Beautiful. On the next breath out, that right leg lands on the floor, the hands on either side of the hips, and then choices, either right foot stays on the floor or right and left. Shoulder blades plant, lift the hips toward the ceiling. Squeezing up through the glute space, using that right hamstring space, but making sure that that mid and upper back are working as well, but yet also the head is free to roll side to side. 2 more breaths. Anytime you need to come down, you come down. And then on the exhale, we roll down. Both knees pull back into the chest. Heels kick up toward the ceiling. They come out into a wide straddle, big wide V. Rock yourself from side to side if that would feel good. Excellent. And then pause in the middle and just let gravity and weight do its thing with this wide straddle. Reach through the heels, shoulder blades are pressed into the mat. Chin is tucked into the hollow of the throat. Belly button draws in. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now let your heels drift toward the end of your mat by about 6 inches. Oh, so transverse abdominis muscle in between those hip bones. If you need to hold on to the legs, hold on to the legs. But if you can just let them drift, let them drift. Now we breathe them out another 6 inches away. Inhaling. Exhaling. On the next breath in, bring the knees in. Happy baby posture. Reach up for those feet. See what a great transition that was. Oh, that was right out of the depths of Hades into, oh, yes. Excellent. All right, for you guys that are shoulder stand folks that still like to do a shoulder stand, bring your happy baby to a resting position and rock yourself up onto your shoulders and hold on to your tuchus. Those that aren't shoulder stand people, there is no judgment. We're hanging out. We're holding our happy baby here for another breath. And then if you're not going to do your shoulder stand, put both feet down, hands on either side of the hips. Press the hips up. Full bridge. If you wanted to do a full wheel, you could do a full wheel. I started doing wheels again in India. Freed my spine up after my transcendental meditation. Couple more breaths. Anytime you need to come down, come down. But if you're in a bridge, bring some attention into those inner thighs to make sure the knees aren't wandering too far outside the hips unless you need them outside the hips. 2 more breaths if you've got it. And then on an exhale, roll the spine space down. Let the body straighten out on the floor. Arms reach up overhead toward the wall behind you. Toes point. All right, and then if anybody has a chair within reach, what we're going to do is we're going to roll up. We're going to snug it up onto the end of the mat. Make sure it doesn't have wheels. I'm going to take my legs, put my legs up into the chair so that my heels can dig into the chair just a little bit. So now I've got a stable platform. The backs of my hips are nice and square on the floor. My hands are on either side. Hips, if you're stretched out on the floor, so if we were stretched out on the floor, we got our chair, we brought our hands back in either sides of the hips. There we go. Bill's like, are you shavasanaing now? Oh, okay, so, Bill's made a pillow pile. So that's how he's gonna achieve his. All right, hands on either side of the hips, heels dig in, lift the hips, roll up onto the back edges of the shoulders. So this is a mini shoulder stand. If this isn't appropriate for your upper neck region, then don't do it. Breathe in, breathe out, let the hips roll down. Now, left heel is gonna stay where it is, right leg is gonna reach straight up toward the ceiling. And then slide the left foot toward you till you bite off some sort of meat on this chair, and then press and lift the heel straight up toward the ceiling. Head should still be able to roll nice and gentle from side to side. Breathing in, breathing out, lower the hips, switch legs, reach the other heel up. If you've got your foot on a pillow, just be gentle. Reach, drive the heel up toward the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out, roll it down and in. Plop those shins and those calves back on top of the seat of the chair or over a coffee table or whatever you've got available, and just have a couple of breaths. So then we're going to take the outside edges of the feet, slide them to the edge of the chair. So now my knees are wide like butterfly legs. I'm going to take my fingertips, reach up toward the ceiling, lift, and then sweep my fingertips toward my heels. Now, if you're on the floor, if you don't want to use a chair, you can just use your own body weight. You could also do the traditional reach up and grab the outside edges of the feet and hold on that way. But this way, it kind of makes the heels a little too far away. And so as we work through this hip space down here with all our feelings mixed in it, we can't quite get where we want to go. So then we have to breathe through that heart space to settle any frustration that bubbles up. One more big breath in. Exhale, roll it back down. And then just let the legs settle on the edge of the chair the way they are. Or let the legs settle on the floor and just Utkatasana legs. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, we're going to take the hands, we're going to send them up overhead. Left hand is going to grab right wrist, and I'm going to take my whole upper body toward the upper left corner of my mat. So my legs can stay where they are on the edge of the chair, they can stay where they are on the floor, or I can stretch out long on my mat and I can send my legs toward the lower left hand of the corner of mat, lower left hand corner of the mat, and the hands up to the upper left hand corner of the mat. And then you just relax and you just hold. It's a restorative C-spine. Head finds neutral. Use the breath to find little micro places that are still holding on. One more breath in and out. And then release back to center. Give yourself a breath here. And then right hand grabs left wrist up toward the right corner of the mat we go. Little twist in that spine or a little C curve in that spine. If you're stretched out long on your mat, your legs go to the lower right hand corner. And we just breathe into these open left ribs. Just spending a little time with yourself. Beautiful. One more big breath. Fill everything up. Empty it all out. Slide back to center. And then for Shavasana, you can choose just to put the legs in the chair. So a mimicked legs up to wall posture. You could turn around and find some wall or the footboard of a bed and throw your legs up there. You could throw your legs over a pillow of some sort. You can do whatever you need to do. If you need something over the eyes, because one of the issues that we have at home is that with the eyes open, we look around and there's dust bunnies and there's distractions and there's TVs and there's all those things. So make sure that you can totally sink into the sand. And let's say if we're in the sand at the beach and we can hear the little waves coming up, we're in the most beautiful beach we've ever been on. The water is a perfect temperature. The air is the perfect temperature. You've already put on your sunscreen, or maybe you're under an umbrella. And you just have it so that when the waves wash up the beach, they come up over the toes, over the feet, over the heels, the ankles. They wash up your calves, and then the waves get pulled back out. So with each breath, imagine that those waves are tickling up the toes, the feet, the calves, and each time the wave pulls out, it pulls away like a magnet anything that's unnecessary. Keep imagining waves pulling up, and then as it pulls away, it smooths the nerves in the legs. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtavardanam Arvarukkameva Bandinam Mrityurmukshiyamritat Swaha. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtavardanam Arvarukkameva Bandinam Mrityurmukshiyamritat Swaha. Om. 3 deep breaths and a sigh. You guys don't even have to move. You can Om with me or Shalom or Amen, whatever works. Belly, ribs, collarbones. Inhale into the belly. Om. Ribs. Om. Collarbones. Om. Om. I love you all. Thank you guys for joining in. If you're gonna stay where you lay, you're welcome to. I love you guys.
Love you. Good
Love
to
you.
see you.
Caroline.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Wonderful class.
Thank you. We're gonna put together a real schedule. It's probably gonna be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning type schedule. Because I have Zoe and we have school on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, and then maybe some Friday afternoons. And we're doing Monday chant sessions at 6:15 at night through ACT organization. And there's a Reiki meetup tonight at 7. If anybody needs that, y'all know how to get in touch with me and I can send you the link for that.